Download our revolutionary app for free AMC.
No student can love the subject without loving the teacher.
You can learn any subject, anywhere, any place, and on the go. Come, let us go the other way learning. Download our revolutionary app for free AMC.
.com. Now I'll repeat what all I discussed. Morning. Let me do a recap of session 1 and session 3. Let me do a recap of what are the things that we discussed. First method we discussed negative reminder concept. Negative reminder concept. We discussed what is a negative reminder concept. Then we understood the drawback. Then we discussed Euler theorem concept. Euler theorem concept. In this Euler theorem concept, we have discussed what is a totient function. What is a totient function? Euler's theorem is used when the denominator is a composite number. When the denominator is a composite number. Then we thought, what if the denominator is a prime number? If the denominator is a prime number, if the denominator is a prime number, if the denominator is a prime number, then we discussed another theorem, Fermat's theorem. Fermat's theorem. These are the three concepts which we discussed. In negative reminder, we discussed using models, model 1, 2, 3, till 6 models which we have discussed. And the seventh one is power to the power. 7 models we have discussed in negative reminder concept. Euler's theorem. In Euler's theorem, we also discussed how to find the digital sum. How to find the digital sum of a number. It is nothing but the remainder when you divide a number by 9. That also we used it. Then we discussed denominator prime number. Students who missed out the session 1 and session 2, you can go back to our YouTube channel and the videos are made public. You can watch session 1 and session 2 to get all your doubts clarified. If you are listening to session 3 for the first time, if you are listening to session 3 for the first time, if you are listening to the class for the first time, now see here, right? So in Euler's theorem, we also discussed backtracking method, how backtracking helps us. By today evening, reminder, most of the problems you can solve it. This we solved, this we solved. Let me do question solved, question solved, question solved, question solved. 5 over 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14. Practice problems which we solved. Write all these. Euler's theorem, Euler's theorem, Euler's theorem application, Fermat's theorem. Now we are at, please write down an important key point. Then we will solve the problems. Please write down. Fermat's theorem, one important conclusion. Fermat's theorem. Let me first discuss what is Fermat's theorem. Fermat's theorem is reminder when a power p minus 1, when divided by p, it is 1. When a and p are coprime numbers, when a and p are coprime numbers, p is a prime number. P is a prime number. Reminder when a power p minus 1 when divided by p, reminder is 1. Reminder when a power p minus 1 when divided by p is 1. A and p are coprime. For me, this is not important. The conclusion of this, I will discuss the proof. Any single digit, any single non-zero digit, any single non-zero digit written p minus 1 times, any single non-zero digit written p minus 1 times, p is not equivalent to 235 is always divisible by, is always divisible by p if p is prime. First write this point, then I will discuss the proof behind this point. It's an extreme important concept. You take any single non-zero digit. You take any single non-zero digit. If a single non-zero digit is written p minus 1 times, p is not equivalent to 2, 3 and 5. P is not equivalent to 2, 3 and 5. It is always divisible by p if p is a prime number. If p is a prime number. Any single non-zero digit written p minus 1 times is always divisible by p if p is a prime number. For me, important key point is p is not equivalent to 2, 3, 5 and a single non-zero digit is written p minus 1 times. Why it is happening? Proof. For everything whatever I discuss, I will give you the proof. Proof. Please write down. Can I say that 10 power p minus 1 divided by p, it is 1 if p is not equivalent to 2, 5? Because Fermat's theorem is valid when the numerator base and the denominator are coprime to each other. If I take 2, 10 and 2, factor common is 2. 10 and 2 are not coprime to each other. 10 and 5 are not coprime to each other. So 10 power p minus 1 divided by p is 1. Suppose example, 10 square divided by 3, 100 divided by 3, 333s are 99, remainder 1. Can I write like this? 10 square minus 1 divided by 3, remainder will be 0. Can I write like this? 10 square is 100, 100 minus 1 is 99. 99 when divided by 3, remainder will be 0. Am I right? Now please write down these example. Then in the next slide I will give you a proof. 10 power p minus 1, when divided by p, it will be 1. When p is not equivalent to 2 comma 5. Why p cannot be equivalent to 2 comma 5? Because a and p should be co-prime to each other. Because a and p are co-prime to each other. So 10 and 2 are not co-prime to each other. 10 and 5 are not co-prime to each other. Now see here. Proof. Reminder 1. Reminder 1. 10 power p minus 1 divided by p, it is 1. P is not equivalent to 2 comma 5. So if I keep 1 on the left hand side, this will become 10 power p minus 1 minus 1 divided by p, it is 0. If I take p value 3, this is nothing but remainder of 10 square minus 1 divided by 3. This is nothing but 10 square minus 1 is 9 into 1 divided by 3, which is 0. Am I right? 9 is divisible by 3. 9 is divisible by 3. If I take p value 7, p value 7, 7 minus 1 is 6. 10 power 6 minus 1 divided by 7. 10 power 6 minus 1 is 9 written 6 times. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Divided by 7 and it is 0. 9 is not divisible by 7. 9 is not divisible by 7. Only in this case 9 will be divisible by 7. 9 is not divisible by 7. But these 6 once is divisible by 7. 9 is not divisible by 7. 6 once is divisible by 7. Now what is the point I said? Any single non-zero digit, any single non-zero digit written p minus 1 times is always divided by p. Why p is not equivalent to 2 comma 5? Because p and 10 are co-prime. Why p cannot be equivalent to 3? Why? Because 9 is divisible by 3. Any single non-zero digit, extremely important point, sir. Any single non-zero digit, any single non-zero digit written p minus 1 times, written p minus 1 times is always divisible by p, is always divisible by p if p not equivalent to 2, 3 and 5. Please write down. Any single non-zero digit written p minus 1 times is always divisible by p. P is 2, 3, 5. 9 is not divisible by 7. 6 once is divisible by 7. I hope the proof is clear. Unless you understand the why behind the question, which method to use when, you will not have a clarity. At the end of, probably at the end of session number 3, I will give a table when to use which concept, so that complete reminders will be clear. So any single non-zero digit written p minus 1 times is always divisible by p if p is not equivalent to 2, 3 and 5. If p is not equivalent to 2, 3 and 5. Why am I doing this? Because all these examples morning I discussed Euler theorem. We stopped here. We have stopped here. Now see here. Now all the questions are very, very easy. Now see, denominator is 19. 19 is a prime number. 19 is a prime number. What is the concept? If a non-zero digit, 9 is a non-zero digit. If it is written p minus 1 times, 19 minus 1 is 19 minus 1 is 18 times. When divided by 19, remainder will be 0. Denominator is 19. If it is 19, if a non-zero digit is written 19 minus 1 times, 19 minus 1 times is 18 times. Answer is 0. I hope it is clear. One more example. One more example. 777 written 10 times is divided by 11. 777 is written 10 times divided by 11. Any single non-zero digit written p minus 1 times is always divided by p if p is prime. If it is 11, 11 minus 1 time, so it is 10 times. So remainder is always 0. Any single non-zero digit written p minus 1 times is always divisible by p if p is prime. This is 37. So this should be 36 times. 136 it is 0. Another multiple of 36 is 0. Another remaining is 7. 7 is written 73 times. 36 times it is 0. Any multiple of 36 times it is also 0. 36 2s are 72. So remaining 173. Answer for this question is 7. Answer for this question is 7. Any single non-zero digit written p minus 1 times is always divisible by p if p is a prime number. Any single non-zero digit. 37, 36 times, any multiple of 36 times. 72 times, remaining is 17. We will do some more questions. There is no debt to the questions. Remainder of 5, 5, 5, 5, 5. Written 34 times. Written 34 times. Divided by 17. Divided by 17. This is 17. Numerator should be 17 minus 1 16 times. 16 times it is 0. Any multiple of 16. 32 times it is 0. 34 times, 32 times it is out. Remainder is 55. 55 divided by 17. 17 3s are 51. Answer is 4. Rambabu. Praveen. I hope it is clear. Concept is clear, right? Kindly reply if this concept is clear to you. I hope the concept is clear. Till now, please let me know if this concept is clear to you. Only concepts in our class. We should not waste students' time so much. And 90 minutes is 90 minutes of powerful conceptual content. 55. Rizwan, you are right. When you divide a number by 17, you will not get 55. So further divide. 17 3s are 51. Remainder is 4. Remainder is 4. Now, another variety of questions. But before that one, we will take an example. Example 1. Remainder of 9 power 8 power 27 divided by 9 power, or we will write down 9 power 18 power 27 divided by 19. 9 power 18 power 97 divided by 8. Now see here. So according to Fermat's theorem, 9 power 18 divided by 19, it is 1. A power p minus 1 when divided by p, it is 1. So 9 power 18, check with this number with this number. So if I do 18 power 27 when divided by 8, 18 ones are 18, perfectly it is divisible. So 18 power 27 is perfectly divisible by 18. 9 power 18k. So this is 9 power 18k divided by 19. 9 power 18 divided by 19 is 1. 9 power 18 divided by 19 is 1. Again I am explaining. According to Fermat's theorem, 9 power 18 by 19 is 1. Check, do this number with this number. Right? 18 power 27 divided by 18. 18 ones are 18. Remainder is 0. 18 power 27 is perfectly divisible by 18k. 18 power 27 is nothing but 9 power 18k. 9 power 18 divided by 19. Remainder is 1. 1 power any number. Answer is 1. 1 power any number. Answer is 1. We will do one more example. We will do one more example. 5 power 6 power 29 divided by 5 power 6 power 29 divided by 7. According to this question, 5 denominator is 7. So 5 power 6 divided by 7 is 1. Divide this power with this power. So 6 power 29. 6 power 29 when divided by 6. 6 ones are 6. Remainder 0. So 6 power 29 is perfectly divisible by 6. 5 power 6k divided by 7. 5 power 6 divided by 7. Remainder is 1. 1 power any number is 1. 1 power any number is 1. I will not only solve the problems which are there on the slide. If time be, I will keep creating as many questions as possible, because most of you know that I am an author of 9 mathematical books. I hope this concept is clear. Next, third question. Third one. Third question. Third one. Third question. Let us do it. Remainder of, third example, remainder of 7 power 25 power 130 divided by 13. 7 power 25 power 130 divided by 13. This is nothing but 7 power 12 divided by 13. It is nothing but 1. 7 power 12 divided by 13 is 1. Divide this power with this power. So this will become remainder of 25 power 130 divided by 12. 12 2s are 24. Remainder is 1. So 25 power 130 when divided by 12, I will get a remainder 1. So it is 12k plus 1. It is 12k plus 1. I hope it is clear. So this will become remainder of 7 power 12k plus 1 when divided by 13. So this is remainder of 7 power 12k into 7 power 1 divided by 13. This is 1. 1 7s are 7. 1 7s are 7. I hope the idea is clear. Denominator, if it is p, numerator, its power should be divided by p minus 1. 7 power 12 divided by 13, it is 1. The entire concept lies in dividing this number with this number. 25 power 130 divided by 12. 12 2s are 24. Remainder is 1. So 25 power 130 when divided by 12, it gives a remainder 1. 7 power 12k plus 1. 7 power 12k by 13, 1. 7 by 13, it is 7. Students who are listening to the session number 3, please go back and watch session number 1 and 2. Already minimum 3 hours I solved problems on reminders. So if you have gone through session 1 and 2, session 3 will be little quick for you. Your understanding ability will be very quick. Now we will solve this 9th problem. Now we will solve this 9th problem. I hope it is clear for you. I hope the idea is extremely clear for you. 7 power 7 divided by 13. This is nothing but 7 power 12 divided by 13. It is 1. 7 power 12 divided by 13 is 1. Divide this with this. So this is nothing but remainder of 7 power 7 divided by 12. So here it is remainder of 7 square whole cube into 7 power 1 divided by 12. 49 divided by 12. 12 4s are 48. Remainder 1. 1 7s are 7. 1 7s are 7. That means 7 power 7 when you divide by 12, remainder will be 7. 7 power 7 is 12k plus 7. 7 power 7 is 12k plus 7. So this is nothing but remainder of 7 power 12k plus 7 divided by 13. This is nothing but remainder of 7 power 7 divided by 13. 7 power 7 divided by 13. So here it is 7 cube whole square into 7 power 1 divided by 13. 7 cube is 343. 343 divided by 13. 13 twos are 70. 13 twos are 26. 83. 13 six are 78. 5 square is 25. 25 into 7 divided by 13. 13 twos are 26. Minus 1. Minus 1 into 7. Minus 7. Positive remainder is 6. Positive remainder is 6. This question is taken out from a sub-junior Olympiad paper. Sub-junior Olympiad paper. Listen carefully to this concept. After half an hour, 1 hour, you will solve remainder problems using answer options. Remainder problems using answer options you will solve. Extremely important for any student who is writing aptitude exams where number system is an topic. Extremely important for CAT students, SSC students, bank level students and placement level students. Right? Very important. If you know these fundamentals, the next level of questions, you can solve it very fast. You can solve it very fast. Please acknowledge it in the live chat if it is clear to you. Our live classes should be extremely rigorous and up to the point subject. There should not be any of the non-academic discussion in our class. Non-academic discussion should not happen when a subject is being discussed. A student should see me in the mobile or a laptop, keep a headphone and just concentrate on my teaching. Like the way I am concentrating on that student who is sitting 1000 kilometers away and learning from me. Kindly reply it in the live chat if it is clear to you. If it is clear to you, kindly reply. Sanjeev, yes beta, it is beneficial for SSC. I will take some staff selection commission questions as the time permits. Extremely important, sir. By 4:30, 4:45, complete picture of reminders, you will get an idea. You will get an idea various types of reminders, how to solve reminder based problems. How to solve reminder based problems. Right? Clear? Next one. Now, see here. But there is a drawback. Now, listen very clearly, sir. Suppose if it is 2 power 37 by 3. 2 power 37 by 3. 3 ones are 3 minus 1. Minus 1 power odd is minus 1. Positive remainder is 2. This is level 1 question. This is a level 1 question. Remainder of 5 power 37 divided by 63. Which power of 5 when divided by 63? 5 cube is 125 into 5 power 1 divided by 63. 125, 63 twos are 126, minus 1 into 5. This is a level 2 question. Level 2 question. Reminder when 3 power 80 when divided by 5. I did it by using reminder of 3 power 20 power 4 divided by 25, which is 1. This is the level 3 question. This is level 3 question, which is nothing but an application of Euler's theorem. Application of Euler's theorem. There is a drawback in Euler's theorem. There is a drawback in Euler's theorem, which we will discuss. Then we will get into things. Level 1, level 2, level 3 kind of questions. Now, what is the drawback in Euler's theorem? Why Chinese remainder theorem came into picture? Why Chinese remainder theorem came into picture? Suppose if the question is 3 power 101 divided by 77. Divided by 77. 77 is 7 into 11. 7 into 11. So quotient function of 77 is 77 into 1 minus 1 by 7. Morning class we discussed why it is 1 minus 1 by 7. 1 minus 1 by 11. 77 into 6 by 7 into 10 by 11. These cancelled. 6 tens are 60. 6 tens are 60. If it is 60, 3 power 60 divided by 77. 3 power 60 divided by 77. 1. What is the next multiple of 60? 3 power 120 divided by 77. It is 1. But the question is 3 power 101. 19 steps I have to go back. 19 steps I have to go back. 19 steps we have to go back. Extremely time consuming. Extremely time consuming process. Extremely time consuming process. Extremely time consuming process. So in this case, Euler's theorem cannot be used. In this case, Euler's theorem cannot be used. Sanjeev Gupta, you may be very new to our YouTube channel. We do not entertain any of the non-academic messages, right? Nothing will happen except people blocking you without saying. Our YouTube channel has got a very strict rules and regulations in terms of users watching the videos. Do some tamasha in the live chat. The only thing is block, right? It is absolutely okay with me if any non-serious student unsubscribes to me. I am not behind these subscribing things and everything. I have got a right. So this question cannot be solved effectively by using Euler's theorem. This question cannot be solved by using Euler's theorem. Please write down. Please write down one important key point. Then we will go to another beautiful theorem. By using that theorem, how you can solve remainder based problems in seconds. Now, please write down Euler's theorem. Euler's theorem is used. Euler's theorem is used when the power of the numerator, when the power of the numerator is closer to quotient function of denominator, quotient function of denominator or its multiples, quotient function of denominator or its multiples. Please write down. Please write down this important point. Euler's theorem is used when the power of the numerator is closer to quotient function of denominator or its multiples. That is where the usage of Euler's theorem is best. That is where you can use this Euler's theorem effectively. This is where the Euler's theorem is used effectively. Euler's theorem is used when the power of numerator is closer to quotient function of denominator or its multiples. I will take two examples so that it will be clear for you. Remainder of 7 power 41 divided by 100. 7 power 41 divided by 100. 100 is nothing but 2 square into 5 square. So quotient of 100 is 100 into 1 by 2 into 4 by 5. Already we discussed in the morning session. N is P1 power A, P2 power B. N into 1 minus 1 by P1, 1 minus 1 by P2. 10. So this is nothing but 40. 41 is closer to 40. You can use Euler's theorem. Suppose if it is 3 power 80 by 25. 25 is 5 square. 25 is 5 square. Quotient function of 25 is 25 into 4 by 5, which is 20. 80 is closer to the multiple of 20. Power of the numerator. Power of the numerator. If the power of the numerator is closer to quotient function, or if the power of the numerator is closer to the quotient function multiples, it is closer to quotient function multiples, it is closer to quotient function of denominator, Euler's theorem is used. Euler's theorem is used effectively. But there are a lot of remainder based problems where this condition is not satisfied. If this condition is not satisfied, then how to use it? If this condition is not satisfied, then how to use it? Now listen carefully. Side heading, write down Chinese remainder theorem. Side heading, Chinese remainder theorem. Chinese remainder theorem.